Welcome to Gateway Lectures. We are starting with a new topic, machine tools. It's a very good numericals on machine tools. With a little concept, we can solve many numericals, and this is an important topic in production too. So let us first discuss the concept of turning. In the machine tools, the first concept would be turning, obviously. So let us discuss the concept of turning, and then we'll proceed to the numerical. So coming to turning operation. So turning is nothing but a reduction in diameter to the whatever length we have necessary. This turning operation will be done on lathe machine. So on lathe machine, mostly turning will be done for cylindrical objects, either hollow or solid, and also few square sections, few rectangular sections, and even uneven sections also will be done by blunt tool. Initially they will be made into a cylinder, and then a proper turning operation is done by using single point cutting tool. So this turning operation is always performed by single point cutting tool. This is a single point cutting tool, and single point cutting tool is given a feed in this direction. This is the feed. This is the feed given to the single point cutting tool. And coming to the forces experienced in turning, it is not necessary for these numericals, but when we enter into a theory of metal cutting, their force parameters will be observing the energy consumed and everything. So here, whenever there is a chip, there is a cutting force moving. Suppose here this workpiece is moving in this direction. So at each point, the periphery point will touch the turning this single point tool here. So the single point tool, each point of this material workpiece touches to this point. Thus, reaction to that, it develops a force called cutting force. So cutting force is in this direction, right? And this tool, for this tool we give a depth of cut in this direction, and in the direction of depth of cut we'll have the pressure. So due to pressure we'll have a force, pressure force, Fp. And also whenever the tool is sliding over the rake face, this is the rake face, the tool slides in this direction. So whenever turning operation happens, this will be the main cutting edge. Actually there are two cutting edges in single point cutting tool. One is called the side cutting edge, and other is called the end cutting edge. For turning operation, side cutting edge is the main cutting edge. So when cutting is done by side cutting edge, that is the main cutting edge in turning, the tool flows in this direction. The tool's cutting starts here, and tool starts to flow in this direction, right? As tool starts to flow in this direction, this will be the frictional force. There will be a friction force between this tool chip to this workpiece chip, and also between the rake face. The frictional force direction will be Ff. So there will be three forces acting on the tool. Actually the forces will be acting on the tool itself. Okay, and this is a basic introduction to turning. There are many types of turning operations. We can produce we can perform operations like turning, we can perform phasing operation, we can perform, we can smoothen this, and also slots can be made, and also taper turning also possible using with a little different arrangements. So this is all about the theory of turning. And coming back to our machining operations here, like machining calculations we'll be doing here. So coming to machining calculations, so we'll start with machining calculations. With this basic few formulas, we can almost solve each and every question, whatever be the exam in the turning. For that machining calculation, we need to take initially the diagram. We'll just specify the terms here. See here, this is a single point cutting tool. This is the feed direction, and since it is moving in the direction, it will have some velocity called feed velocity. So let it be some Vf. Vf is the speed velocity. Capital V is the cutting velocity. Okay, and this distance from the workpiece to the tool is called as approach or allowance. So it is called as length of approach or length of allowance. So it is given in order to reduce the vibration. See, suppose the tool is in contact with the workpiece. Whenever the workpiece starts rotating, Whenever the workpiece starts rotating at some speed n, then immediately it will either the tool will be not in a proper position, nor a workpiece will be in a proper position. There are chances of vibration and a failure. So we may initially maintain some approach or allowance so that we can slowly move towards the workpiece and then start machining. Okay, once our tool reaches this point, the turning operation will start, nothing but the cutting will start. See, the depth at which the tool takes into the workpiece is called depth of cut. Okay, the depth of cut is taken by the main cutting edge. Okay, the depth of cut is taken by the main cutting edge. So whenever this depth of cut is taken, the tool will be machined to this part. So, okay, and the length to which the machining had to be done, that is called as length of workpiece to be machined, LW. Suppose till this length you want to reduce its diameter, then we'll move the tool till LW only. If you want to make it for entire length, then we'll move for the entire length. Then length of the workpiece will be equal to the length of workpiece to be machined. Right. So depth of cut is discussed, approach is discovered, and feed velocity. And let us discuss few terms here in one by one. First comes the feed velocity only. Feed velocity, and it is denoted by Vf, and the speed velocity is nothing but feed, the value of feed into number of revolutions per minute. See, always the feed is given mm per revolution. Suppose if you are making one revolution, then how much distance the tool should travel longitudinally, that is nothing but feed. So it is the value for mm, how much distance the tool had to travel longitudinally per one revolution, into n is nothing but we know it is revolution per minute. Then the final unit will be mm per minute. That is a feed velocity, Vf. And second will be cutting velocity. So what is this cutting velocity? Cutting velocity is nothing but peripheral velocity between the contact between the tool and the workpiece. So cutting velocity denoted by V. This is the peripheral velocity between the contact. Suppose this is the workpiece having some diameter d, and this workpiece is rotating with some speed n. Whenever the tool comes into contact with this point, suppose if the tool is here contact at this point, then the direction of the peripheral velocity will be nothing but cutting velocity. So at this point the tangent will indicate the direction of the cutting velocity, and here cutting velocity is given as pi d n upon 1000. Why we take 1000? Because this diameter always will be in mm. If diameter is in meter given in the question, then you no need to take 1000 here, and v is equal to pi d n by 1000. And similarly from this we can write n is equal to v into 1000 upon pi d. This is also useful. And the third parameter will be effective length. So what is effective length? Effective length is the length to which the tool has to travel, not the machining length actually. Effective length is the length to which the tool has to travel. This is nothing but length of the workpiece to be machined, and also plus approach or allowance, whatever may be. If we can call it as approach allowance, or we can call it as just allowance, or we can just call it as approach length. Both were the same. So here the LW plus LA is nothing but L effective. And the fourth parameter is maximum, minimum and average velocity. There will be three terms we'll be discussing: maximum, minimum and average velocity. So whenever we talk of maximum velocity, this velocity is nothing but cutting velocity. Maximum velocity, then we should take it as pi d max into n upon 1000. If suppose d is fixed, suppose d max is fixed, we can't take it, then we need to get the maximum velocity, then we need to change the value of n. So whenever in question, if diameter is given, diameter is known to us, and also cutting velocity is fixed, then we need to change the value of RPM in order to attain that maximum conditions. So then we'll calculate the RPM if cutting velocity and diameters were known. Okay, and similarly V max is known. V minimum is equal to pi d minimum into n upon 1000. Similarly V average is equal to pi d average into n upon 1000. What is this average diameter? This average diameter is nothing but D1 diameter before machining plus D2 diameter after machining in one single pass actually upon 2. Average nothing but half of the both values. And coming to the fifth parameter, it will be machining time. This is the final parameter and it is the machining time. And also one more important thing to note in this numericals is whenever cutting velocity is set as some 30 meter per minute, if there is any cutting velocity given in question and doesn't mention that it is a maximum or minimum or nothing, then we need to assume it as average velocity. So we need to assume it as average velocity and calculate d average, and from that we need to calculate value of n. And last term is machining time denoted by Tm. The machining time is nothing but L effective upon feed velocity. Feed velocity is F into N. Okay, we'll make the units. L effective will be in mm, feed velocity will be in mm per minute. So the final time we'll be getting in minutes. Okay, this was the basic theory needed for the turning operation. With all this theory, we can solve any question in turning. And type of turning, it will be a slightly different. Mostly this Tm is equal to L effective upon Fn will be used in almost all machining operation with a little changes in terms. Like in milling, we will be using milling velocity, milling feed we will be using. And if you take about milling, we will be using also feed per tooth, not actually the complete feed. Milling feed, we will use feed per tooth. So let us now go through the question. A cylindrical workpiece of length 200 mm and diameter 60 mm is reduced in steps. So the length is 200 mm, diameter 60 mm. It is reduced in steps, okay, such that diameter is 48 mm along 80 mm length. So such that along this 80 mm length, the diameter should be 48 mm and 44 mm along the 120 mm length. So along the 120 mm length, the diameter should be 44 mm. So we need to do a turning operation such that along 80 mm we need to get a 48 mm and along 120 mm we need to get 44 mm. And if cutting speed is 50 meter per minute, yes, here cutting speed is mentioned, but they did not say it is maximum, minimum or average. So we need to assume it as average and proceed for the problem. Feed is 0.3 mm per revolution. So the feed value is given as 0.3 mm per revolution. Yeah, we know. Depth of cut is 3 mm. This is the maximum possible depth of cut. See, in question, if depth of cut is given 3 mm, it is a tool material property. So we can't and also workpiece metal property. We can't give a depth of cut greater than 3 mm. If we give depth of cut greater than 3 mm, there will be a chance in damage to the workpiece or the tool. So the depth of cut is limited to some value, and that is the maximum depth of cut possible. Then find the time for machining. Take approach allowance as 4 mm. So here approach allowance was given as 4 mm LA. Also derive the expression for MRR in turning. Right, we'll proceed to the question. First of all, we'll do the MRR, nothing but metal removal rate derivation here. We'll derive the expression and then we'll proceed through the question. So to do the derivation, we need to take initial workpiece. Let the initial workpiece length will be LW. And initial workpiece has some diameter of D initial DI. This is DI. And after turning operation, we give some depth of cut, we get some reduction. Sorry, we forgot to discuss about reduction here. Reduction is an important term. Okay, we'll discuss here itself in the question. DI, and also with some depth of cut, we will be doing the turning operation. So in turning, we removed this amount of material. Suppose this amount of material is removed in a single pass. Let this amount of material is removed. So this will be the final diameter left, DF. So here, what is metal removal? Metal removal is nothing but volume removal, volume of metal removal per unit time, whatever may be the time. So for that, we need to calculate the volume of material removed. Volume of material removed is nothing but, so this is a circular cylindrical rod, cylindrical workpiece. So pi by 4 into D initial square minus D final square. This is the area difference into the length of workpiece. This is the total volume removed by turning operation in a single pass. Then what is the material removal rate, MRR? Here in the term itself it is said it is a rate. A rate means nothing but with respect to time. So generally rate will be in two terms, one will be with respect to time and one will be with respect to length. So here with respect to time, metal removal rate, MRR is nothing but volume of metal removed upon time for machining a single pass, the two from the start of the workpiece to the end of the workpiece, right? So we that nothing but pi by 4 di square minus df square into length of the workpiece upon, we know the time of machine. Here we discussed the time for machining is L effective upon L effective upon F into N, but here it should be from start of workpiece to end of workpiece, so it should be LW upon Fn. So here LW and LW will be getting cancelled. From that we will get the value of MRR as pi by 4 d initial square minus d final square into Fn. This is the MRR, right? And also here we need to discuss one more term here, reduction. So in turning, the main aim is to reduce the diameter. So in single pass, what will be the reduction? Reduction will be always equal to 2 into depth of cut. Why it is 2 times the depth of cut? Because it is a cylindrical machine. So we are giving a depth of cut of D. Okay, but the D is given on one side. Tool will be only on one side. But the machine, since the workpiece is rotating, it will also have the metal removal in the other side also. The total reduction in the diameter for one complete revolution will be equal to 2 into depth of cut. Okay, now let's go through the question. Here in question for us it is given depth of cut is 3 mm. That is the maximum depth of cut we will be giving to the tool. Okay, so initial workpiece is this 60 mm diameter and 200 mm length. So with initial depth of cut, the maximum depth of cut of 3 mm, we can get a reduction. Well, denote reduction by RED. Reduction will be of 6 mm. So with one single pass, we can reduce the diameter to 6 mm for the entire length. We can proceed for single pass. So this will be called as the first pass. And first pass here it is done for the entire length. So L is 200 and also there is given an allowance, that is nothing but 4 mm. So that both will be added. So with single pass we can reduce the reduction of 6 mm. So 60 mm will be reduced to 60 minus 6, 54 mm. But we need 48 mm. So again we will do in the second pass. In second pass we get that we will give the depth of cut of same the 3 mm. That is the maximum that can be given. And the reduction same with 3 mm depth of cut we will get 6 mm. And also here we will perform for the entire length 200 plus 4. Right, now we will do the third pass. In third pass the depth of cut will be varying, because see here we need to get 80 mm with 48 mm diameter. So 80 mm length with 48 mm diameter. In the second pass itself we got the 48 mm diameter. Here we can't apply the third pass to the complete length. Here we can only apply to the 120 mm length with allowance. Okay, but and also from 48 to we need to get to 44. So we need to reduce it by 4 mm. By giving the depth of cut is equal to 3 mm, we'll get a reduction of 6 mm. We don't need 6 mm, we need only 4 mm. So we'll have the depth of cut. So here the depth of cut will be 2 mm and here the reduction will be of 4 mm. And length of the workpiece will be 120 plus 4 mm. Right. Can we give 2 mm depth of cut? Yes. The maximum we can give is 3 mm. So till 3 mm we can give any value of depth of cut. We can even give 1 mm. We can even give 2 mm. So till 3 mm it is under safe limit to the workpiece and the tool as both. So till 3 mm we can give whatever the value required. Even we can give 1 mm and do one more pass. Since to reduce the time for operation, we will give directly 2 mm and proceed to the operation. And the 2 mm is only given for this 120 mm length. So that the 48 mm diameter will be reduced to 44 mm and our final product will be ready. So we will do the machining calculations for the first pass here. For the first pass, see, when we are doing first pass operation, the initial diameter of the workpiece is 60 mm. And after doing the first pass, the final diameter of the workpiece is 54 mm. So using this both, we can calculate D average. D average is nothing but 60 plus 54 upon 2. From that we will get D average as 57 mm. And after getting D average, the cutting speed, remember the cutting speed is mentioned in the question, and it is a constant value 50 meter per minute, and the speed is 0.3 mm per revolution. So the cutting speed is 50. The cutting speed is 50 meter per minute, and the feed is 0.3 mm per revolution. And the feed value is 0.3 mm per revolution. This is constant for complete values. For all the passes, that will be constant. So using d average is equal to 57 mm, we will calculate. Velocity was known, cutting velocity was known, it is the average velocity. For that we will be calculating the value of RPM. So n is equal to V into 1000 upon pi into d average. Since V nothing mentioned in question, this V will be taking it as V average. So V average was given in the question. By using that, V is 50 into 1000 upon pi into d average is 57 mm. From that we will get the initial RPM, that is 279.21 RPM. Using this RPM we can calculate the first pass machining time. First pass machining time is equal to L effective upon F into N. Here L effective is 200 plus 4 upon F into N. F is feed is given as 0.3 mm per revolution into the RPM is 279.21 we got. From that we will get the first pass machining time, that is equal to 2.43 minutes. So this is only first pass. We need to do 2 more passes. So similarly we will do calculation for second pass. Here D1 is nothing but 54 and D2 is here we get finally to 48. From these two we get the D average. So the D average value will be 51 mm. 54 plus 48 by 2 is nothing but 51 mm. For that we will calculate the RPM. So RPM is equal to V into 1000 upon pi into D average. From that we will get V is 50 into 1000 upon pi into D average is 51. From that we will get the value of N RPM in the second case. It will be equal to 312 RPM. If you can observe, as the diameter is getting reduced, the RPM value will be increasing. So even for the second pass, the RPM will be still more than this 312 RPM. So we got the RPM, we will do the machining calculations. Here we will be applying for the total length. So 200 plus 4 upon feed is 0.3, that is fixed to the all passes, into 312. From that we will get the machining time for the second pass, and that value we will be getting it as 2.18 minute, right? And finally for the third pass also the D1 was 48 and the D2 is 44. From that we will get the D average as 46 mm. So D average is known. We will calculate the value of N. N is equal to 50 into 1000 upon pi into D average is 46. From that we will get the value of N as 345.989 RPM. See, the RPM value is being increased as the diameter is getting reduced. From that we will get the machining for the third pass. For the third pass we will be doing operation only for 120 mm length. So it is nothing but 120 plus allowance, it is 124 upon feed is 0.3 into RPM is 345.989. From that we will get the machining time for the third value. It is nothing but 1.19 minute by calculation. In the question it was asked the final time for machining. So to get the final product, what will be the time for machining? That is nothing but total machining time, that is TM1, TM for the first pass, TM for second pass, and TM for third pass. That is nothing but equal to 2.43 minutes plus 2.18 minutes plus 1.19 minutes. So the final value will be 5.8 minutes. So this is our answer. In this way we can solve many turning questions, whatever be the question, with just simply reading the question, understanding the concept, understanding this concept, these all machining calculation formulas, we can straightly proceed to the question. Machine tools is actually a very easy topic among production. See, production for many competitive exams, it will not be too logical and it will not be too conceptual even. It is, if you know the concept, once you know the standard concept of turning, suppose, then we can simply do any numerical on turning. And thanks for watching. We'll be coming with many questions, many possible questions on turning. Have a nice day. Thank you.